What is up guys, Stark here. I am back for day 19 of the 25 Days of Fate, and I do apologize for this video being slightly late, but I had to finish farming, or not farming, but I had to finish completing Babylonia, and you know, it ends, as of recording this video, the campaign period to get to 30 free Saint Quartz ends in a few hours, so I had to make sure I finished that so I can get those Saint Quartz for Merlin, who comes out tomorrow. And that will be tomorrow's video. Spoiler warning, day 20 will be my pulls for Merlin. I will be doing them live on stream on Twitch, so you know, stay tuned for that. I don't know what time, I guess it just depends on what time I wake up, but I will put out a notice on Twitter, and I will also upload a video that's saying I'm going live on Twitch, so stay tuned for those. And hopefully you guys can catch the stream, hopefully you guys can see me hopefully get Merlin, and hopefully you guys all get Merlin too. But for now, this video is going to be talking about 10 craft essences that are going to be coming out in 2019 that you guys should keep your eye on and try and get. This isn't a ranking, this isn't, you know, anything like that. I'm sure I'm gonna miss a few. I'm not very familiar with the Japanese version of Fate Grand Order. I do want to get an account, I do want to play the Japanese version and do all the events and all the content, so I have more of an understanding of, you know, the Japanese version of the game, and then when they come to global, I'll be able to give you guys better explanations and details and videos when those events come around. So I'm going to be trying to do that going forward, but for now, this is just 10 craft essences that I looked up and that I found that look to be pretty good. So feel free to let me know in the comments which ones I missed. You know, I'm always open for that kind of thing. And I personally want to know too, you know, if I missed a good one, then definitely let me know so I can check it out myself. So first up, for number 10, we have 2 Gods, 3 Legs. So this one is going to be available in the Nerofest Once More event, and while equipped, this will grant your character guts for 1 time. You'll revive with 1 HP. It will also increase your normal Phantasm damage by 15%, and this will go up to 20% at max limit break. So overall, this is a pretty good one. You get the increase to your normal Phantasm damage as well as that 1-time guts. It is going to be very helpful keeping your characters alive as well as dishing out some damage. Next up, we have the Aerial Drive. Now this is actually 3 different entries into the list right here, and that's basically because these are more or less upgrades or semi-upgrades of the original not Verdant Sound to Destruction, Limited Zero over Imaginary Round, and Formal Craft. But this one will increase your Buster Card performance by 8%, your normal Phantasm damage by 8%, and you'll start the battle with 30% of your normal Phantasm gauge filled. And then if you max limit break it, it'll end up with 10% Buster Card performance increase, normal Phantasm damage increase by 10%, and you'll start the battle with 50% of your normal Phantasm gauge filled. So these are exceptional craft essences. Being able to start the battle with half your gauge filled is going to be amazing. And then on top of that, you get Buster Card increase, and you also get your normal Phantasm damage increase. And again, as I said, this is for the Buster version. There are the Arts versions and the Quick versions as well. But for Aerial Drive, you're going to be able to get this in the upcoming Halloween event. For the Arts one, it's going to be the Dive to Blue, which is going to do the same thing, except it's going to be for Arts cards. And you'll be able to get that in part 2 of Ishtar's event, which will be coming out in the summer. And the Quick one is going to be the Sometime in Summer Craft Essence, which will do the same thing, except it'll be for Quick cards, and that'll come around with BB's event. And that'll be sometime in, let's see, May? May, yes, it'll be in May. So definitely make sure to get them. They're all event craft essences, so you should be able to get them pretty easily. And definitely make sure you do. Make sure you limit break them because they are absolutely fantastic ones to get. Next up, we have the Castle of the Sun. This is going to be another event craft essence that you'll get with Cha-Cha's event. And this will be coming out in April. And what this one does is it'll increase your critical damage by 15%, as well as increase your critical star generation rate by 15%. And you will start the battle with 25% of your normal Phantasm gauge filled. On the max limit break, this will be a 20% increase to your crit damage, 20% increase to your star generation, and 40% of your normal Phantasm gauge will be filled. So obviously this one is going to be very useful for, you know, any character that will be dealing in crits. You know, flat 20% increase to crit damage permanently is going to be helpful, and the generation rate of 20% as well is going to be very nice, allowing you to get a ton of stars as you're battling. And when you start the battle with any type of normal Phantasm gauge, it's going to be very helpful. You know, it's not that 50% threshold that I really like, but you do get 2 extra really good effects, and you know, if that's what it takes to lose 10%, then I guess I'll be okay with it. Next up, we have the Demon King of the 6th Heaven, and this one will increase your Buster Card effectiveness by 15%, as well as increasing your Noble Phantasm damage by 15%. And on the max limit break, it'll increase your Buster Card effectiveness by 20% and increase your Noble Phantasm damage by 20%. So this one is going to be available with the Hijikata banner, and it will be the 5-star craft essence in that gacha banner. You know, it's really nice when you're having a character that, you know, a Buster character that has a pretty powerful Noble Phantasm, then it's going to be a really good combination there, comboing and getting the Buster increase as well as the Noble Phantasm damage increase. Next up, we have the first Sunrise Craft Essence, which will increase your Buster Card effectiveness by 15%, as well as starting the battle with 40% of your gauge filled. And at max limit break, it'll be 20% increase to Buster Card effectiveness, and 50% of your gauge will be filled at the start of the fight. This is going to be the event craft essence we'll get with the Musashi banner at the start of the new year. So most people are going to be pulling for Musashi, and they should be able to get this as a result, unless you're really lucky and you get Musashi like on the first pull or something. Yeah, this is a good one. This is actually more of the upgrade to Limited Zero Over than the Aerial Drive. But yeah, I mean, it's really nice. You get that 20% increase. So you lose 5% compared to Limited Zero Over. But you do start the battle with 50% of your gauge filled. So, you know, depending on what type of situation you're in, they could definitely offset each other. And, you know, you could use this for some situations, and you could use Limited Zero Over for other situations. Overall, they're both really good craft essences to use, and I personally think I'll get quite a few of these just because I'll be pulling from Musashi. But I hope I don't jinx myself. Anyway, it's a pretty good craft essence to get. Next up, we have the Former Wish Craft Essence. And this one will increase your critical star absorption rate by 400%, as well as increasing your Buster Card effectiveness by 10%. And on the max limit break, it'll increase your star absorption by 600%, as well as your Buster Card effectiveness by 15%. And this one will be available in the Fate/stay night Heaven's Feel movie banner. Now, I'm not exactly sure when or what banner we're going to get with that, because you know, the movie's already out for us. But I mean, I'm sure we'll get some type of banner, and it'll have that craft essence on it. But yeah, you know, it's a pretty good one. If you have a Buster Crit character, this one's going to be very helpful. You know, you get that extra absorption. You know, you could use this on Berserkers too, to up their absorption rate and get those critical stars, get critical damage, and still increase their Buster Card effectiveness. So overall, you know, it's a pretty good one. You're going to do a lot of damage with it overall, as long as you have some way of generating stars with your other characters and your other team setups. Next up, we have the Midsummer Moment, and this one will increase your quick card effectiveness by 10%, increase your critical damage by 10%, and you'll also get 3 stars every single turn. And on the max limit break, it'll up the percentages to 15%, and you'll get 4 stars instead of 3. So obviously this one's going to be really good in crit teams, and quick characters will benefit greatly from getting the quick card increase as well as the critical damage increase. And getting 4 stars every turn is going to be really helpful as well. You'll be able to get this one in the second batch of the summer units, and this is the one that's going to have the maid Artoria in it. So I think a lot of people are going to pull for that one, so there's a really good chance of getting the Midsummer Moment as well. Personally, I'm going to pull for all the summer units. There's not too many characters in 2019 I want, so I'm basically going to be banking on getting these summer units. And, you know, they're all really cool. I like most of them anyway. Next up, we have the Summer Little Craft Essence, which is going to be available on the first banner of the summer batch. And that one is going to be the one with Nero on it. And this one will increase your Noble Phantasm generation by 25%, as well as increasing your Noble Phantasm damage by 10%, and your critical damage by 10%. And then on the max limit break, it'll increase your Noble Phantasm generation by 30%, increase your critical damage and your Noble Phantasm damage by 15%. So this one's going to be very helpful, helping you increase your Noble Phantasm gauge to get your Noble Phantasms ready faster, as well as upping the amount of damage you do overall, and doing the upgrade to critical damage as well. Next up, we have the Seaside Luxury Craft Essence, and this one will increase your critical star generation by 20%, as well as granting you 3 stars every turn. And on the max limit break, this will increase your generation by 25%, and it'll also grant you 4 stars every turn. And this one will be available in the first part of Ishtar's event in the summer, so it will be a event craft essence, so you should be able to max limit break that one pretty easily. And again, you know, this one's really good for critical teams, quick teams, things like that. Being able to generate a ton of stars every single turn is going to be very helpful. Next up, we have the Starry Nights Craft Essence, and while equipped, this will increase your Buster Card effectiveness by 10%. It'll also increase your critical damage by 10%, and you will start the battle with 40% of your gauge filled. And on the max limit break, it'll increase your Buster and crit damage by 15%, as well as starting the battle with 50% of your gauge filled. This one will be available on the Ereshkigal Gold banner, so that'll be right around Christmas, near the end of the year. So it'll be a while before we get this one, but this one's going to be pretty good. It's an upgrade to the aerial drive one, but instead of doing normal Phantasm damage, you're going to do crit damage. So they do both have their own spots in different teams. And then finally, we're going to have the Talk on the Heated Sands Craft Essence, which will increase your critical star absorption by 400%, as well as increasing your critical damage by 200%. That would be absolutely insane. It's only 20%, unfortunately. And at max limit break, it'll be 600% on the absorption and 25% on the damage. So this is basically like an alternate version of the former Wish, where instead of doing the crit absorption and Buster effectiveness, you're going to do crit absorption and crit damage. So again, it just depends on what team you're using, and you can just go ahead and throw them on there. Like former Wish would be good for like Buster cards and Berserkers, and Talk on the Heated Sands would be more like for quick cards or anything that's going to be doing pure crit damage. So that's the list, guys. I know, like I said, there are probably tons that I missed out, but these are the ones that stood out to me, that I thought were pretty good to let you guys know about, so you guys can prepare for them and get them when they come out. I know a lot of them are event craft essences, but that's not a bad thing, because as like free-to-play players and things like that, you should be able to get all of these craft essences very easily. There are a few that are on banners, but maybe you'll get lucky and pull them. All the banners that they come with are really good units as well. So if you are pulling on those banners, then you should be able to benefit greatly from getting them or those characters. So either way, this is my list. Again, let me know in the comments which ones I missed. And I do apologize for kind of rushing through this video. It's really late and I needed to get this one out today so I keep my streak going. And if you did like the video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, for at least the next 6 days, I'll have the link in the description below for my Fate Grand Order giveaway for your chance to win some Saint Quartz. I know Merlin does come out tomorrow, but I am giving the contest goes until Christmas. So it'll be a Christmas giveaway. Merlin will still be around by then, so, hang in there if you're hoping to win, hang in there. Try and be a little patient. And if not, you could just use it on another banner if you do win that giveaway. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow live for Merlin's banner.